Hello, this is Marcus Jidell from AVATARIUM, and you're listening to the blog of rock.
Welcome to the Blog of Rock, dem Podcast um Rockstars und ihren Geschichten. Ich bin Uwe Lerch und ich nehme euch Backstage und präsentiere die Storys hinter euren Legenden. Auf, vor und hinter der Bühne. Natürlich sprechen wir über die Musik, die uns alle verbindet, aber auch über die Menschen dahinter. Was hat sie inspiriert und motiviert? Wie haben sie ihre Marke erschaffen? Und welche Rockstar-Tipps haben sie für euch da draußen? Hallo Leute, heute dreht sich alles um AVATARIUM aus Stockholm. Schon seit ihrem ersten selbstbetitelten Album aus dem Jahr 2013 hat mich die magische Stimme von Frontfrau Jenny Ann Smith verzaubert. Über insgesamt 4 Alben hat die Band aus meiner Sicht eine unglaubliche Metamorphose hingelegt und in die tief schweren, düsteren, kalten Klänge Marke Black Sabbath immer mehr warme Sonnenstrahlen in die Komposition reingelassen. Schaut euch hierzu einfach mal die ganzen Akustik-Songs auf dem YouTube-Channel von AVATARIUM an, ihr werdet sehr überrascht sein. Ihr letztes Album, The Fire I Long For, erschien im letzten November, mit dem die Band eine völlig neue Nische eröffnete, die sie selbst als Dark Gospel bezeichnet. Wer hierzu mehr wissen will, der sollte sich mal das Erklärvideo zum Song Rubicon ansehen, welches die Tage online ging. 2020 hätte das Jahr von AVATARIUM werden können. 2 Warm-Up-Shows in Schweden waren gespielt und danach sollte eine extensive Live-Umsetzung mit den Höhepunkten Wacken und Summer Breeze folgen, um nur ein paar zu nennen. Doch auch diese Pläne gingen im Zuge der Pandemie unter. Fast schon zufällig wurde eine der ersten beiden Shows in Stockholm mit Kameras aufgezeichnet. Ich durfte mir dieses Video bereits komplett ansehen und kann euch sagen, dass das Konzert schon aufgrund der historischen Location aus dem 19. Jahrhundert ein absoluter Hingucker ist. Über 90 Minuten brettert ein düsteres Doom-Gewitter los, in extremen Kontrast mit schon fast folkartigen Balladen, gefühlvollen bluesigen Gitarrensoli, ganz viel 70er Schweineorgel und vor allem diese magische Stimme von Jenny Ann Smith. Und genau dieses Erlebnis klingelt jetzt auch an eurer Tür, denn der für mich Konzertfilm des Jahres ist als Video-Download verfügbar. Für 10 € könnt ihr euch diese Show sichern, den Link bekommt ihr nachher von mir. Und um die Spannung noch ein bisschen aufzubauen, hören wir erst einmal, was mir AVATARIUM Mastermind Marcus Jidell über dieses Projekt erzählte. Lehnt euch mal zurück.
Hello Marcus, how are you doing in Stockholm?
Hello, I'm fine. We got some warm weather finally, so the end of the summer seems to be a little warmer.
You're looking great, so to say. For everybody who's not seeing you, you're looking really relaxed. So have you been on vacation or have you been in the studio working the past weeks?
We actually been on some kind of vacation, like for a month. Me and Jenny Ann and our kid, 2.5-year-old kid, and so. But it's always, it's never total vacation for me. I always do stuff.
Yeah, you came out with the breaking news that AVATARIUM is coming to your living room in a few days. So you're releasing a concert, a home video.
Yeah, so we're releasing a concert movie from the show we did earlier this year in Stockholm at the really beautiful venue Nalen, which is a really old and beautiful looking venue. So it was recorded with 5 cameras and multi-track, audio recording. So we were able to make a concert movie out of it with a great sound and a great film. The film looks really nice. So we were happy. So we've been working quite hard with that. Victor Stenqvist made a great audio mix, and I went to his studio like when he was almost done, and we spent the day together to make all the small final adjustments to make it even better. And Magnus Stenvinkel has been working with the film, and we also both me and Jenny Ann has been there and watching. But they've been doing Magnus Stenvinkel from Black Box. They've been doing a great great work. So everybody's been spending a lot of time and putting a lot of effort to make this as good as possible, and to kind of make people who watch it feel the atmosphere and the vibe that was in the hall at the venue that evening. So we're really happy with it. I'm proud. I talked to our keyboard player yesterday, actually, Rickard Nilsson. We were both a little bit surprised how well we play and perform, because it was the first show we did on what was supposed to be the tour 2020. And of course, we just made 2 shows because then COVID-19 pandemic bursted out. But at least it was recorded, the first show, and luckily we did a great performance. We're happy about that.
So it's not easy, because I remember seeing AVATARIUM quite a few times, but you changed the lineup in between there and back, and I was really surprised. I saw the show already, and I must say that this is the best lineup I saw from AVATARIUM. Because you seemed like playing together for ages, but it was one of the first shows. Yeah,
really. But one of the reasons actually is that we are all good friends, and we've been friends for a long time. So Habo, the drummer, and Rickard Nilsson, keyboard player, we known each other and played a lot together, in different jam sessions and in different, constellations and stuff. So we know each other very well. But it's also like with some people, you just get a good chemistry. It's like, you can't force that thing. You put some people together, and if you're really, really lucky, there's a certain chemistry that kind of makes some magic that you can't predict it. But we are very happy, and everybody in the band, we really feel that. I've been talking to everybody, and that's why we're all very happy and proud about this live concert. And the same with Mats, our bass player. So everybody's like able to put their own personality in how they perform, but also they make the big AVATARIUM sound together. So we're very lucky. I really hope we can have this band together for a long time, because it feels like coming home to me. I feel the water on my feet as I'm crossing Rubicon. Blackbird, when you spread your wings, don't trust that, 'cause you can't keep your tongue from evil, no, and your lips from terror.
So the whole concert is called One Evening with AVATARIUM, and I think it really showed a great band, which is on the best performance yet. And it was just the first show of the tour. It was crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy you say that. I was quite nervous when I went to Victor to listen to the sound mix, because I haven't listened to the whole show. Because it's always when you listen to yourself, it's like, you hear all the small little mistakes and stuff. And so I don't usually like to listen to my live recordings, actually. So I was very nervous when I went there. But then when we listened, like each song was like, wow, this sounds pretty good. And then the next song was like, wow. And then it gets better and better. So for each song. So sometimes you're lucky and perform well. But as said, we all feel very comfortable with each other. And also the audience, actually, that evening, it was very warm and loving, and great atmosphere in the venue. And as you will see if you watch the concert film, it's a very beautiful venue, and that also inspires.
Looks like an old cathedral or like a theater. So what is this kind of venue? It's not for rock. It's not made for rock shows.
No, it's usually not, like metal bands or rock bands usually don't play there, because we watched the old gospel lady Maybe Staples there like a few years ago, when we were like, wow, this is such a nice venue. And then we were asked by Triffid and Danger Productions, who booked us in Sweden, if we wanted to play there. So we felt like that's a great idea. And it's actually, I think the house was built in 1888. So it's a very old house. And the venue used to be from the early 30s until late 60s. It was, almost every, cool kind of culture event in Stockholm, happened there. And it was a lot of the jazz bands, and it was like people went there to dance, people went there to listen to jazz music or later pop music and that kind of stuff. So it's a very legendary venue. So it's, sometimes when you get into a place, you feel, the history and the vibes of it. So that's the kind of probably also helped us, you know, with the performance. So I'm very happy that we went there and we did it there.
What I like on the show is there's a certain kind of story, or I would say a climax. So you start very, let's say, dark. Jenny Ann is wearing some kind of a cape, like a priestess, the high priestess of dark gospel music, and then she's turning into a, you know, she's having a white shirt afterwards at the end, and it's got more lights and it's got more organ inside. So the whole concert has a kind of story. Was this kind of a concept what you intended to play with?
Yeah, we you know, it's always nice to that a concert is like an album, you know. It's like that you have some kind of a story, and of course you want the ending to be like a climax. So yeah, we tried to do that, and I'm glad you noticed and that you liked it. So I think it's went out pretty well.
What I've seen already are some great reaction. You just released the first video officially on your AVATARIUM YouTube channel, which is The Sky at the Bottom of the Seas. Yeah. It's been a track from your previous album, which I think in a live version really worked much better with all the organs inside, and as a kind of duel between you as a guitarist and the organ from Richard. It sounded a bit like some people wrote commentary like, this is the best Uriah Heep track they never wrote, but it has this kind of 70s vibes, and this is the track which really works live in this video, and I think it captured also the atmosphere of the whole concert really well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, that song it's written by Leif Edling, the great Leif Edling, and it is of course really inspired by Uriah Heep. But since he's a very clever songwriter, he always kind of gets his own vibe into the songs anyway. But you can really feel the kind of, what do you say, like hectic pulse, and almost like the band had like too much cocaine right before, whatever. But you know, which we actually didn't. But.
Talking about Leif, he was also the one somehow who started the whole idea of AVATARIUM, beside of Candlemass. But I felt on the last album, his influence was much less to hear. The last album, The Fire Long For, which you have released last November, sounded a bit different. It sounded more lighter than the darker sounds which you had in the beginning. Is it
maybe
now you're more writing the material on your own?
Yeah, on the last album, Jenny Ann wrote 6 songs, and Leif wrote 3 songs. So I guess it's a little, of course it's different, and it doesn't make sense for us to try to copy Leif Edling's songwriting. And you know, we're very proud of each album we've done this far, and we've been writing some songs earlier as well, but now it's more, on the last album, we like write most of the material. And I think, you know, I think it goes both ways also, because the sound is quite heavy and, you know, big and fat on the new album, but we also try to blend in, you know, some different harmonic, you know, things, and maybe a little bit more melodic maybe. And I'm not sure, you know, we have our influences from like the Doors or the Crosby, Stills and Nash and Neil Young and that kind of stuff. And then of course we blend it with, you know, the Black Sabbath influence and that kind of stuff as well. So, but you know, that's one of the things that I think I learned a little bit from Leif Edling, is that to always try to be personal when you write instead of just, you know, try to copy something totally. And I think we really achieved to find a sound that really suits us well. And if we were supposed to continue with Avatarium, it was really important for us to write, you know, most of the material, because otherwise we just be, you know, we all have Candlemass, of course, and what the Leif's songwriting, but it's important for us to develop as musicians and as songwriters and everything, and artists, to be more involved in the songwriting. We've been doing, you know, the arrangements has been always from the band anyway, very, very much. Of course, Leif also been very involved in it, but you know, a lot of the songs like Persian Coffins and these kind of songs, they sounded very different when we did the first demo, and then we kind of did the Avatarium thing with them. So we've always been doing that, and in one way it's as much work to write your own song as to kind of rearrange, you know, Leif's songs, if you know what I mean.
I can imagine. I see that, especially on the last album, you did a lot of acoustic stuff, which you always had. You know, when I remember your first shows, also at Rock Hard Festival in 2015, Jenny Ann played also acoustic guitar, and we see it also, by the way, at this show one evening with Avatarium. But I think on the last album you had more songs which you also performed later on acoustically. I remember you played for German Telekom, this concert which was being available as stay-at-home concert. You did also some great acoustics on your YouTube channel. By the way, this is something which you really should focus on, to play more of these acoustic things, some of your original songs. But you recently, you just mentioned Neil Young. You also played a great Neil Young version of one of his songs, which was astonishing to me to hear it by a band like Avatarium. But it shows really the development of the band, that you don't really just focus on one niche, because the Avatarium sound is mixed by lots of ingredients. Those could be more also folk oriented, but it could be also blues oriented, and they still have this kind of Candlemass, Black Sabbath, doom, dark roots.
Yeah, and that's like we talk like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, whatever, all these old, you know, giants. So one thing I always love with them is when they're blues to the hard rock or metal thing, and also what do you say, blues and some old school rock and roll, actually. You know?
That's right, yeah.
And I always love that as well. And then, you know, when you've been working with music for quite a long time, I always, since I was a kid, I was always interested in different genres. So and I find new music, you know, every month or every week, and sometimes it's new stuff, but usually I dig backwards, and I find like a lot of, because there's so much music. Some people say like, why do you only listen to old music? I don't only listen to old music, but there's a lot of old music to find that is great as well. So I was always interested in that, and it's also interesting as a producer to hear the recordings they did and everything. And so you know, and then you find something that you kind of, okay, this talks to me. I like this, and then you try to get these things into the music you write yourself. And with Avatarium, we have a style, we have a sound, but it's still, every album sounds a little bit different. So we have a kind of a window to be creative and bring in what we like, but always try to have our own Avatarium ID in there. So that's always the challenge, and that's what makes it interesting. And so.
Oh, mother, is there life here beyond? A place in the clouds after I'm gone, where I can play and belong, sing with my friends, and they're singing along.
So what will be the next? I'm sure in between the last year, when you finish the last album, I'm sure you don't only sit at home watching Netflix series, but I'm sure you are very productive working on new material, not only acoustically, which you showed already on your YouTube channel, but I'm sure you work also on new materials. So what can we expect?
Actually, I wish I had time to watch some Netflix series because sometimes I said it another day to a friend, like I would just want to spend 3 days doing nothing, watching Netflix series, but there will be time for that later, hopefully, and that's something you can do in a tour bus.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we really we're writing new material actually at the moment. And we're starting to get some really nice things and ideas, and now we just need to make songs out of it. So we have a lot of ideas, and we have a lot of thoughts about how the next album should sound and everything. And that's one of the things we're working with. We're also working, since we can't tour and meet our audience, we really started to be more focused on the social medias. So our YouTube channel has been like, we haven't been doing anything with that for years, but now we've just started with our YouTube channel. So if you're interested in AVATARIUM, you should go there and subscribe, because it's going to be like our AVATARIUM TV, where we're going to have both, of course, official videos, but also clips from the studio, or some old clips and some new clips. And we also have this thing where it's called What's Hidden in the Song, where we kind of go through some of the songs, and you can listen solo some of the things, like whatever, percussion or vocals or whatever we do that you might not be aware of when you just listen to the whole song. So we have a lot of these small things that's both fun to work with, and it's also a way to communicate and give something to our listeners that really inspires. Because we really get inspired from mail and messages people write to us, and I noticed there's a lot of people that really get moved by our music, and then these are the things that has made us make the decision to continue. Because I talked to Jan a lot about how should we do with AVATARIUM. Shall we? Because we love to do it, but it's also it's a lot of work to work with it. But when people write like, that song helped me through a difficult time in life, and all this kind of stuff that people write to us, that then you feel like, okay, this is something important, and we reach out, people understand what we are doing, and they get moved by it, and then of course that gives us energy to continue. So it's a beautiful thing, and we really want to. We are really inspired right now to continue with what we're doing.
So please carry on. I want to hear a 5th AVATARIUM album next year, and I hope you're gonna come over finally when the pandemic is over. But before, you are coming to our living room, as I said before. So before, let me ask you, the whole concert will be available like a ticket, and you purchase it, and then you can not only stream it, but also download it to copy it on your own. Yeah. So this is the idea.
Exactly. So you can download it, so you will have it forever. And you can also download like a cover, so you can make your own DVD if you want to, which is very nice. And the thing is, this concert is, once again, we're very happy that and feel very lucky that we were able, that this was recorded, because a lot of people do the live streams, and that is a great way to reach out. But this is a concert filmed in front of an audience right before the outburst of the COVID-19. So you can see the show that we were supposed to tour with in 2020. We were supposed to play Wacken, Summer Breeze, a lot of nice festivals, and we were also supposed to do our own tour. And so this is a chance for you to see the tour that unfortunately didn't happen, but you will see it in your living room, and
with a great sound and with a great video as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you say that. And so just crank up the volume and, you know, have a beer or a glass of wine or Coca-Cola, whatever you want to drink, and you know, collect your friends and you know, and hope have a good time.
What I really like about this, it's a kind of fortune for everybody, because it's just, you won't believe, it's just €10. So it's less than a ticket. It's even less than a CD, or about the same price as a CD. And you will get the full show, almost 90 minutes with, you know, all the best songs from all albums, on, you know, with a great performance at once. And I really can only suggest everybody who's listening to this podcast to have a look at it. If you're unsure, you can go to the YouTube channel, of course, and watch already some clips of it before. You're releasing some of the clips already before, so people already can know what they can buy. And of course, at the other side, when you buy a ticket for the download, you support a band, because this is something which also, you know, helps you also to sustain this pandemic, but you get a great concert as a gift in exchange. So that's why I really suggest all my listeners to have a look at it too.
I think it's a fair deal. Thank you very much.
This was a commercial break.
That's a commercial break. Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy that you like it, and I think it's a fair deal, and it will hopefully also bring in even more fans and new people to see AVATARIUM, because, you know, it's hard for us to, at this point, we wouldn't be able to go to like maybe South America this year anyway. So it's a good way for people like over the seas to see a full show with AVATARIUM, and next time we tour, it's probably, we have a new album, then it's going to be another tour, and it's also, you know, it's still always going to be different, you know, because we rehearsed and worked with these shows, you know, with the band, and you do the arrangements and you make everything at that time. And AVATARIUM is like that. If we play like in a half a year or in a year next time, the songs are going to sound different, because we always change small things, and because that's how we are. So.
We are looking forward to welcome back to the live stages in 2021. Until then, I wish you a productive time in the studio. Let us know when there is something new. Until then, we're going to watch your YouTube channel, and of course, we're going to watch the concert. Marcus, thank you very much. My best regards to Jenny Ann, and tack så mycket.
Tack så jättemycket. Thank you very much. It was very nice to talk to you.
Falls ihr auf den Geschmack gekommen seid und AVATARIUM in euer Wohnzimmer einladen wollt, dann findet ihr in der Beschreibung dieser Sendung, den sogenannten Shownotes, den direkten Link zur Seite, wo ihr euch für schlappe 10 € das komplette Video runterladen könnt. Ihr bekommt sogar ein fertiges Cover zum Ausdrucken, damit ihr euch davon eine DVD brennen könnt, quasi ein Official Bootleg. Wenn euch diese Episode gefallen hat, abonniert doch gerne meine Stories um RockStars und ihre Geschichten beim Podcast-Dealer Eures Vertrauens, damit ihr auch die nächste Folge nicht verpasst. Oder ihr hört euch die bereits veröffentlichten Stories an. Und vor allem erzählt es euren Freunden. Folgt mir doch auch bei Facebook und Instagram, da findet ihr mich unter The Block of Rock und ihr bekommt weitere Fotos und Videos zu den Episoden. Alles klar? Dann hören wir uns ja wieder beim nächsten Mal. Bis dahin, keep on rockin'!